better work. We're in Mercury shadow currently, so Mercury is going direct, but it's stationary at the moment, so it's kind of direct shadow. Let's just put it that way. So I'm having issues with my technology this morning, so I'm hoping all is going to proceed fine. Now, we are going to be tuning into Gemini now, and I do want to try and get as many as I can get done today, because I have got an awful lot going on in the background as well in my own life. So for those of you who don't know, I'm a psychic medium as well as a twin flame. Yes, I am in union. I have been in union since the beginning of the year. And I also coach twin flames. So I do want to do a twin flame update, but I want to get through a few of these first. Anyone who's entering and who is new, a very warm welcome. If you're also wanting to make a booking, the link is below. So everything is back to normal with the schedule. Just forward it to a point where you find a booking. Otherwise, yes, I do emergency readings when I'm available. Okay, so as I did yesterday, this is going to be a check-in with the astrology. Now, potentially for the next 6 months, I'm going to be mentioning a lot of, oh, hi, Dal, a lot of the Cancer and Capricorn eclipse. And that's because that energy is relevant for another 6 to 12 months. So every month you move through is going to be directly relevant to what you are going through on top of what the moon energy is bringing. So with this, we are going to check in with what the masculine energy is doing and what the feminine energies of both Gemini, okay? But how they're directly relating to this. I'm also going to mention what houses are directly impacted by each moon phase. Now, we're already in the midst of the Leo energy with the moon, but that's moving all the way through in a frequency sense through to about the 15th, 16th. However, we're still feeling, even moving forward, the Cancer Capricorn nodes, the Cancer Capricorn eclipses, because they're a house that's going to be transforming in your life over the next 6 to 12 months. So for you guys, Gemini, this falls in your second house. Now, with the Cancer eclipse, this was connected to your professional resources, your possessions, your land and material value. So there might have been a family-related dynamic going on. This could be anything to do with inheritances, wills, anything connected to land, or a goal potentially that you're trying to move towards. Hi. And you can look at this for Sun, Moon, Rising and Venus, okay? Because these are the aspects of what's going to come up in your life, either connected to your romance, it could be linking in that house, or it could be, you know, your psyche. You understand what I'm saying. So with the second house activation, again, you will be dealing with anything to do with professional resources. So this can be networking. Again, with Mercury, Mercury at the moment is going direct, but it's still in shadow for 2 weeks. So you still get the slight energy. And sometimes you tend to find the effect of Mercury can be worse in the direct, in the shadow period. So it can be heavier at times. And we're really guided to be very, very cautious about our communication. And again, I am feeling, I still want to do a reading for the Twin Flame Collective, because I'm feeling feminines and masculines are directly relating to the energy very differently. Now, the second energy for you guys that you're going to be working on for the next 6 months is going to be connected to Capricorn with the eclipse. And it's quite a big change. So if you've started making shifts towards it, or it's a subject matter that you know is really coming up for you, it's your 8th house. So again, this is why I was, you know, energetically picking, you know, is there an inheritance that you're dealing with, or a legal proceeding? Because definitely Capricorn energy can be to do with government bodies. It is life, death, money, legacies, will, and the ability to bounce back, starting from scratch. Now, considering Pluto's retrograde, Pluto is connected to births, deaths, endings, and resurrections. Bob the Builder, can we fix it? Now, by the Virgo moon at the end of the month, you're going to have some time to assess this month, on top of the energies that we experienced at the beginning of the year, which again was Cancer Capricorn, and, you know, most relevantly in July, Cancer Capricorn energy. So being in the 8th house, it may be that you're looking at, you know, what you need to end. And cycles are ending, so that it does feel very foreign. Your finances, what you want to leave behind, you know, what are you trying to build so that you can leave behind and why, you know, is the spiritual connection there, especially with Uranus going retrograde this month. You might really, you've had the retrogrades with Pluto, Saturn, and Jupiter. Okay, Jupiter will be going direct. Got to check the date when. Jupiter's direct around, yeah, it is this month, so it's the 19th. It's semi-sextiling Saturn. So with Jupiter, the planet of expansion, you're sort of looking at things and you're like, okay, when it's in retrograde, it's okay, what wasn't working in my ability to grow, or the things that I was putting my energy towards in building, my belief systems. In general, Saturn, the father figure of universe, we're showing you what's not working and really having to clean up mess. So you feel you're not having movement forward, but you directly are. It's more you're fixing the cracks in the plan, and that's what Pluto does as well, especially when it's teaming up with Saturn. They're really showing you what isn't working. It can be a very horrendous time, and I mean, we've got less retrogrades this year, but it does feel quite heavy. And especially for feminine energies, there can be a lot of frustration. You know, always check in with your environment around you. You can look at people and you can see how they're feeling quite triggered. Definitely a lot of the youths at the moment are going through ascension symptoms. They're feeling very triggered. There's a lot of codependent frequencies coming up. There's a lot of purging coming up. So with these two houses, they're going to link into the next 3 moon phases for you guys. And I'm going to do this each month, but I'm going to give you a rough understanding of what's happening in your romance sector as well. But I'll try and extend them where I can actually incorporate a more in-depth love reading. So with the Leo energy with the moon, again, as I mentioned, it's going to be affecting you. You're going to have more strength, but it's also asking you to have strength. We're moving towards the Lionsgate portal. Although the funny situation is it's not holding a lot of Leo frequency around that time. So we're guided to get as much strength as we can. And the reason I named the video "It's Not a Drill" is because anything that we've had a download of, we now are going to be really looking at ourselves. Aries and Chiron asks us in a wound sense to actually look directly at ourselves. And we've been doing this all year because Aries has been in Chiron. So physically speaking, every zodiac sign will be looking at their own self with their wounds. And I'll check what house yours is. Where's my charts? Okay, so for Gemini, where is Gemini? Bear with me. Okay, so Aries is your 11th house. So you could have wounds connected to your friends, your clubs, your associates, and aspirations. Now, it doesn't just have to be connected to that, but it's who you're mixing with, but you're looking at you and what part you play in that. And it's interesting because the Leo moon is about you. You're checking in with you, gaining strength, looking at things, definitely with Aries and Chiron doing the same thing. Taking accountability and choosing and really deciphering between everything you've been meditating upon over the last 3 weeks to 3 months, where to from here. By the time you come into the Aquarius moon, it's you versus others, which is interesting because your wound house is your friends, your clubs, your associates, and your personal aspirations. So it's with all of those dynamics going on, how can you link in with it? And it falls in your 9th house. So your wounds fall in the 11th house. You're going to be thinking about, okay, how do I intertwine with these people? But the Aquarian moon for you by the 16th, 15th, 16th, falls in the 9th house, which is religion, your beliefs, your education and what you've learned and what you want to learn. Foreign countries and travel. So there could be areas, and I've pulled cards for these areas and I will go into it in more depth, but I just want to rat off the information of what's coming through. So if you need to go back and listen to this video, jot down the houses and what they mean, and then when these subject matters come up, you can understand why people are operating in a particular way, and they could be triggering you more so by the 16th. So you're going to have to, on top of that, considering Mercury's in shadow, means communication and movement can be semi-hindered. Contracts, there can be confusion with that as well. pay attention to it. Where it's a you problem, keep the energy focused on you. Where it's not and it's outside of you, do that in an assessment sense, but it's going to come up more so by the 16th moving forward. By the end of the month with the Virgo moon, it's falling in your 8th house. Your 8th house is the same thing. Life, death, money, and legacy. So you got the 7th house in Leo, which is marriage, contracts, and partnerships. So some of you are looking at, okay, you're looking at what you want in a connection. You're looking at how you want it. It could be that there is an energy where you're wanting more. So it depends on directly what's happening in your environment. But I will read the card. The card that you've got is in reverse. My relationships are supposed to feel good for me. You have an opinion about connections, contracts, and partnerships, and you're learning something about it. But at the moment, you feel that, look, you could feel semi-cursed. You're like, aren't we supposed to be feeling happy-go-lucky, you know? Again, because there's triggers, but you're looking at yourself now. And it may be your opinion that you feel, oh, is this ever going to get off the ground? You also may be feeling, you know, have you been punished? Have you been attracting lower frequency people? It could be a person you're tuning into, or TF if you're a TF. And you're going, this isn't feeling so great. But if you can shift the focus onto you, of who you are now, because over the last 3 months, I do find a lot of us are changing, especially since Uranus is our dream sense, you know, our hopes and dreams. It's about to go retrograde. Your hopes and dreams are shifting. So it might have been you wanted to have a child, and then many years have passed and now it's back on the table again, and you're like, well, that was my hope and dream, but perhaps potentially now it's not. So it's readjusting to the new you, and you're looking at what you are going to be inside those relationships. You might have been through the ringer quite a bit, and it is directly causing conflict for you. Now, with the 9th house for you guys by the 16th, you have making peace with my today will improve my future. There may have been some things relating to, now, and look, I know this is relevant because my daughter is an Aquarian, and what I know what is going on in her life. Now, it's life, death, money, legacies, rebuild. You might be reflecting on things you've lost, things that ended, and uncertainty and the feelings that go with it. But if you shift the energy back onto you, and like sometimes we can have regret connected to time, and we're very focused on it because it is a perspective. And we're like, did we waste time on that situation, those people, places, and things? Why does everything come to an end? Well, you know, sometimes I think we'd want certain things to come to an end because A, would we want to pay bills forever? No. B, if we were in a toxic situation, would we want to live that vibration forever? No. So it's a natural ebb and flow. My twin called me. I hope he doesn't call again because I'll have to hang up on him. My computer's off. It's not turning on. So, you know, your perspective of time is directly affecting the way you're seeing things, but you're going through a healing. But you need, what I'm being shown is you need to potentially look at why other things have happened. Now, the thing that's coming through is sometimes when we're trying to heal, we say, but we need to seek closure. And this has been a subject matter with many Aquarian clients I've had. And with the closure that has been coming up, and I don't know why I mentioned Aquarian, probably because we're taking on the Aquarian energy. So for Geminis, the Aquarian energy, you know, that's coming through is they're wanting to heal, but sometimes things can be quite black and white, and you're trying to break down a puzzle in your mind. So the energy of what's going on with this is to gain closure. We think in theory we're getting it from another person, people, places, and things. It's not that you've done anything wrong, but in these intertwining contracts, because Capricorn is very much connected to contracts as well. You know, government bodies, infrastructure, marriages, you know, you get my point. When we're looking at that, How do you heal if the person hasn't said sorry? Even if the person says sorry, the reality is, can you make peace with that? Because if you're still thinking about it, you're still healing, and it's not wrong. It's just what it is. And there is a lot of healing going on at the moment. So with that healing that's coming through with this energy, one way when you are grounded is to look at the person and almost live it like maybe deciphering a code. Due to fear, were they operating in a particular way? Due to spiritual blockages, it could have been connected to death. Were they operating in that way? Was it childhood conditioning? And it's not that they're right or wrong and that what's happened to you is irrelevant, but sometimes detaching from yourself and shifting to grasp why a person would operate in a certain frequency can help you see the flaw in their energy, for you to understand it actually wasn't about you. And that's, once you grasp that concept, you then always shift the energy back onto you, because you can create healthy boundaries. But had we potentially known their perspective on why they were operating, because we're not them, we have no control over that, you gain closure quicker. I hope that helps someone. Now with the Virgo moon, now the Virgo moon is in your 8th house. So you've got the Aquarian moon covering your relationships, and you trying to make peace with it so you can move forward. Whatever you're wanting in a relationship, be it you're in one or you're not, coming to terms with the fact that there's give and take and that's necessary, that no relationship is the same. And even if it doesn't make sense to another person what your needs are, if you can come to a healthy compromise, it's what's going to work. But this is the time frame where you'll be working on it to check in whether it can be fixed. And I'm seeing the Aquarian moon as Bob the Builder. By the Virgo moon, it's a very black and white frequency, and it's a time frame where you're going to have a detox. So you might be looking at things that are imbalanced, ways you can change things up. And I'll read from what the message was for the Virgo moon. Okay, so your sixth sense is going to be high. You'll be having a check-in with your health. Habits, routines, detox. Your physical and your emotional body may be being looked at. It is a restart button, but you're going to be looking at things in black and white terms. The only part that's going to trigger you the most around this time will be an imbalance between Mars and Mercury at the time. And I'll do a separate report to the astrology, providing penny little the world doesn't fall down. So the cards you've got, the universe, the universal law of attraction is managing my expansion. So by you looking at your 8th house, which is about the fact that you're safe, which is about the fact that you're looking at your life, death, endings, money, legacies. It could be you're holding on to the 3D energies a bit too tightly, and you're trying to make up for lost time, but everything is as it's supposed to be. So try not to look back, especially if you have a sick loved one or somebody to that degree, and you're looking at it and you're saying, but I'm trying to make time last, especially with this clock coming up. So you're trying to make it last, and you're like, can't this go on forever and ever? What are you laughing for, Giggle? I'm telling you, my computer won't turn on, and I'm like, I probably overcharged it. So life, death, money, and legacy. It could be you're holding on to it, and you're going, what if this happens? What if that happens? I mean, look at all the balls in the air. It's not a circus, okay? Life, good things and bad things happen to good and bad people. It can be a little bit, and this can be something that people are reacting directly towards you, or it could be your direct energy. So you could be feeling quite overwhelmed and needing to have a bit of healing, time to look at something from a different perspective. But it also can be where you're writing wills. It can be where you're trying to do the rebuild, and it's a restart, and there could have been a shake-up in your life. So this could even be a very, very old energy that you've been holding on since 2001, 2002. And it's coming up and you're going out of nowhere. Where is this coming up? Why is this happening right now? So with the second house of Cancer and Capricorn, the cards you have for Cancer being the second house, with your land, your possessions, your professional material, everything outside of yourself, really. That which is like onto itself is drawn. It's like the laws of attraction again. It's like, I'll read the back of the card. Everything that you perceive is vibrational, and the life you are living is your vibrational interpretation. So the power of the law of attraction is the root of everything you experience, and the never-changing, always accurate premises of the laws of attraction is that which, I can't even get that. I get it, but I can't get the way they've written it. It's very old terminology. When you give thoughts to something, you begin to attract the process. I feel the energy is, with the second house, the notion is you've got to work hard to get, and it's holding on very tightly. It's farther from the truth. You actually have to do the polar opposite. Whatever you are deserving of and you are vibrating, you directly attract. So if you're looking outside of yourself and you're getting to a point where you feel somehow your growth is very much connected to your estate, if something's changing in that, you know, I always say when we're super busy and we're cleaning and we're doing things, what happens is we've actually detached because we're avoiding something that's really going on inside ourselves. Now, again, I am seeing inheritance, and there can be something to this degree where it's coming up in a paperwork sense that needs to be addressed. And this is going to be finalised by the end of the year. Some of it would have been the light bulb moment that you need to look at some of these things. So it could be that you're separating and you're looking at land value, or you're buying and you're looking at those things. If something's been put on hold and you haven't dealt with it, you've got between now and the end of the year. And the strength of the Leo moon is helping you move through for the rest of the year. But if you don't use it in the initial stages and start taking direct action in these highlighted areas, it can be harder for us all at the end of the year because it's going to get messy. Now, the Capricorn energy, 8th house, and then I'll get into the masculine and feminine. Again, wheels, inheritance. Inspired action is always pleasurable action. Take your power back. So you had your aha epiphany moments last month, potentially. It might have been at a healing level, it might have been at a 3D level, but something to that notion is coming up for you guys that you need to look at. If you had a parent pass or something to that degree and there was legacies and inheritance that's already being dealt with, it might not in your subconscious mind, and that's why it's coming up. And it might be something you're experiencing on the external of you. Now let's see what's coming up with the males for the month of August. Yeah, definitely childhood related for the masculines. Inner child work. There can be, and I was finding that a lot of the energy coming through for male energies was they have actually been on the 3D very, very busy. And you do tend to find that you will become quite run down when this happens, because it's like universe gives you 2 ways to do a healing. And you can hear the calling and it's coming, but you're not listening. And somebody gave me the card one day and they said, what does this mean to you? And I was like, I don't know. Like, listen. Listen's in here. It's feel. Feel it. Stop and actually hear yourself out, for goodness sakes. So what I would do is, because that emotional pain body experience or whatever I was getting an epiphany moment on was so heavy, I would get busy. I would work hard. I would avoid myself. So your best relationship is with yourself. I'd avoid myself. And then I would get sick, you know, because the universe would take divine intervention. I do feel this is what's going on with masculines at the moment, if they had been avoiding their spiritual healing or anything that they needed to deal with that I've mentioned herein. So if this is the fact and they haven't balanced both sides of their energy, because both of us, all individuals, have masculine, feminine, the feeling body, the intuition, and the hunter-gatherer, the alchemizer. We balance both of those inside ourselves. That can be coming up for them for the next 2 to 3 weeks, and it can be very karmic. Now, karmic is a lesson, okay? It doesn't have to be, we're coming to get you. It's learning to see something from a different perspective and having a situation where you hear the aha moment and you take direct action, or you stop and universe stops you, so you have to hear. It's a bit like waking up at 3 a.m. It happens because you have kept yourself too busy and because you were not listening. So universe is like, okay, you get your chores done, get your work done, keep yourself busy. We're going to wake you up at 3. And then you've got nothing to stop you. You have to sit and meditate. Okay, I'm pulling cards for the feminine as well. 3, okay, fair enough. Now, past, present, future. Okay, childhood-related wounds for the masculine are coming up, and it can be, some of you might be dealing with a family member. Some of you might be looking at your childhood wounds and reflecting back, especially since the baby is very much in the mind. So this could even be tuning into a karmic energy and looking at assets peeling away, situations needing to be balanced out, whatever to that degree. But there's a child-related dynamic coming up here. By my attention to things, I am making choices. Again, head and heart decisions, right? A lot of head and heart decisions for Gemini males. And it is change, but something's got to change because it's a 5. Head and heart decisions. Psychic card. Look, that can be ego, okay? Yeah, that happened to me during the week too. And I was like, you're being naughty, Yildiz. You need to take time. Take time. Relationships I don't want, clarify those I do want. They're having an epiphany like that. Although they want to do certain things and be everything to everyone, they're realizing in their head, they're like, I've got to. And then they're like, I don't want to. And then they're like, I've got to. Head and heart is where you're torn, okay? They're torn in their mind. But no matter what, they're getting signs and synchronicities. They're like, oh, I don't want to. If they're not in alignment, it won't work. Like I mentioned this to Giggle this morning, we are having heart chakra. Now, theoretically, with some planets, yes, it's throat chakra, but it's like exasperation. We're like trying to take a breath in because it's very heavy on the higher chest, which is the higher heart. Aries in Chiron, the wounded healer. It can be frustration with yourself. It can be the energy you're receiving from a counterpart or a soul connection. The relationships I don't want, clarify those I do. Past versus present. Now look at the black and the white. Now we call the Virgo moon that. Because Virgos can be like, show me the evidence. It's black and white. No evidence. Okay, thank you. I've made my mind up. I'm feeling by the Virgo moon. Have to really check the date that comes through because there's a number on the card. Let's have a look. I'll have to put that on the video after. I know the 15th is the Aquarian moon. The card is 18. So I feel by the 18th, masculines are going to be really... Oh, you can't make this shit up. Sorry if I'm cussing, but head and heart decisions, devil card. Now, this is a Capricorn energy. So what's coming up in the Capricorn house for you guys? Inspired action is always pleasurable. Taking the bull by the horns. 8th house, ending a cycle. Life, death, money, legacies, rebuild. Can it? No. Okay, sweet. And I did say the Virgo moon because it's black and white by the Virgo moon. Your trial, what's going on, masculine energies of Gemini. You're looking at yourself. You're looking at whether it can come together and how everything is, you know, workable. Can this plan that I thought about come together with all of these other dynamics I'm assessing? And by the Virgo moon, you're like, black and white. This is unhealthy. This needs to end. I can get from an unwanted to a wanted relationship. They know who they want. Thank you, Shelley. I think they're going to make that mind up before because the energy of the 18th, by that stage, I think they're like, you know what? No ifs and buts about it. This is toxic. This is devil energy. This is, I don't like it. I don't like it. I'm hoping my computer turns on soon. Change in direction. Okay? They know the troubles. They know, and they're like, you know what? Nah, no, peace out. Can't do this. Can't do this. Changing direction. Now, this card's in reverse. The law of attraction assembles happy relationships. Yes, but if your belief system was all these toxic things are coming to you, why is this happening? It's because some of these karmic endings are being tied up in a different way. You can be good, you can be bad. You're still going to attract light and dark. You're human. Okay? I can focus on what I do want in a relationship. So regardless of what these horrible relationships are, they know they can't change these people, places, and things. They can't change the past. But they're wanting, they wanted something to be better. They didn't want to have to go through this. There can be a lot of ego projected towards them, or they're feeling very pushed and cornered. This can be in general by the energy, but they're ready to manifest. They're like, you know what, I'm putting all my energy and passion and love into this, and you will find it is quite fiery between the other two moon cycles, the Aquarian and the Virgo, so it can be a bit heated. But they're really focused. They're like, no, this is what I want to bring to fruition. It's ended. I'm ready to have a new beginning. Now, feminine energies of Gemini. You're looking at a lot of the differences. Our diversity supports our individual freedom. Some of you are thinking there's too many things going on. It's in reverse. You feel like, are the differences too great? Can this be bridged? Now, interesting, because the first one is about your perspective, being the Leo moon. From here all the way through to the 15th, 16th. You're then shifting on to the Aquarius moon, which is, can we actually sort this? Then the assessment will come by the end of the month. Everything is always working out for me. You feel shit's going down. It's in reverse. And in reality, yes, there is great things that happen in the journey. And I heard a reader the other day talk about this, and this can be in general in your relationship. It doesn't have to be spiritual related. It's you as a spiritual being looking at your belief systems. This is what's coming through in the cards, but this is also relevant to TS. So those of you who have a deep spiritual connection, be it you with them or not, you might feel a lot of shit's been going down, okay? And you're going, look, this has been tough innings. This has been really, really hard. When are some things going to start proceeding forward? We need something to give, you know. Where is this happy light frequency? It seems super serious. My every thought is attracting its vibrational essence. Well, you're not even thinking about it. You're trying to be in the here and now. You're like, I'm trying to be in the here and now. I'm not putting anything out there. Most of it is old energy. Some of it might even be other people's energy around you. And because you haven't had time to, it's just been go, go, go. The essence of my every desire can be fulfilled. So I would say by the Aquarian moon, because I do feel amethyst is for Aquarius and Pisces. I can't remember now, but amethyst, and there's purple here. So I'm feeling this is around that time. Being a 10. It's two people are going to be more imbalanced, but you're going to be teaming up or seeing or meditating upon, can it fit? This can be on both sides of the fence, or if you're in a relationship. Others' opinions are less important than my personal guidance system. And again, there can be a lot of ego of other people around you, but if you're detaching from these people, places, and things that don't resonate with you anymore, you're in alignment and you're fine. But you're and I'm seeing a lot of feminines being quite detached for health reasons, but not detached in a very cold, aloof way. Detached in a more, I best be staying sane way, you know, to proceed forward. Yeah, you're not giving energy, okay? You're not giving energy where it's not deserving. I'm a vibrational being, vibrationally emanating desires. You're like, I'm not even putting my intentions out here. I'm seeing this through. I'm going to be a fly on the wall, because this is in reverse. Our source is one of love and not condemnment. So whatever's meant to be for you, if this is a spiritual connection, be it you're in the relationship or you're trying to attract it, or this is a soulmate to inflame connection, whatever's yours is always yours and it will come to you. You don't need to fight for it. you need to vibrate it and believe that good things are coming, even if we're in a storm. When you have a sneak peek of a good day, take it as a grace, because it does mean it's coming back. So sometimes we have that and it's like, oh, why am I back down to ground zero again? It can be energy from other people, but it's definitely reminding you that there's brighter days. And feel that energy and, you know, try and keep integrating that into you. Sometimes it doesn't come naturally because you're having like symptoms of, can be psychic attacks, spiritual ascension, but this energy is going to be temporary. Nothing ever stays the same forever. It's just been a very long process. So it feels like bloody forever. Now, you guys feel as though something hasn't got off the ground the way you wanted it to, and it's frustrating you. So you're going through a lot of healing. You're trying to be very brave, and I feel this is moving into the Lionsgate portal and the Aquarian moon. And I do feel that there is going to be movement, and between all three moons, there is going to be movement, and I do feel Saturn's helping you. You might be very frustrated with yourself that you're not manifesting at a higher level, but I do feel you're also understanding that it takes two to tango. So you're trying to put the accountability into where it owns on your side, but there's no I in team. So for something to come about, you know it's got to be a team orientation. And I do feel you'll be assessing that. So with these people intertwining their energies, and this can be karmic energies, this can be people, places, and things, you know you can't teach certain people. They have to live something to experience it. And you might feel they're very naive, but you're walking away from it. And it's even, detachment is even connected to TF when they're healing. An aspect of their healing comes from them, because we can't teach, well, we can teach someone how to heal, but the perspective, the feeling, and the ownership of that comes from them. So when they get to that point, there's no time frame on healing. There's no time frame. So when that happens, it happens, and it naturally occurs. So I feel you guys are understanding that this could take some time. And really, with the two eclipse seasons, especially since we've got the Leo energy coming through with the moon, it's the strength, but it's the understanding and comprehension of expectation of it's going to happen tomorrow. Rome wasn't built in a day, neither was the Great Wall of bloody China. So for you to come to a place where you feel it's going to happen tomorrow, try not put that pressure on yourself if it's going to trigger you. You're going to make a judgment. And again, this is the energy of the Virgo moon coming through. It's like, no matter what, I'm going to make a judgment. I have to choose in the here and now what's correct for me. You might change your mind tomorrow, that's fine. But every day you must check in with yourself and decide what you feel you're able to achieve, you're able to do, you're able to entertain. If there's been a betrayal, you know, you guys might be very torn. Some of you might be ending connections due to betrayal. Others of you are changing the dynamic and perspective of the betrayal. The hurt itself needs to come to an end. You do feel as though you are universe's child, God, Gaia, Allah, whatever you want to call it. But at the same time, you're wondering why you had to go through such adversity. Could be pain, it could be cheating, betrayal, you know, jealousy. It doesn't mean that you're not going to have a happy ending. Now, the energy between you in the past, part of it was pre-manifested, the lessons that come through. But there can be something in your power sense you've been thinking about ongoingly. And this is on both sides of the fence. You had a belief system that was very ingrained in where you felt you had power in a situation. And now your perspective's changing. Now, something you set out there in a sense of an intention, and this was by last month, and it was something you were really yearning for. It's actually going to start coming through. But you need to just focus on the energy of it, not what it looks like. And I feel practiced attachment. I do feel there's a lot going on with you guys energetically with a shift vibrationally. Some of you could be moving home. You felt really lost in the past. Now you're deep in reflection now. This is clarity, okay? You're going to gain the insight. But the healing is the clarity. The healing is the closure. So in that, looking at it from a different perspective of how you felt it versus how they saw it, and then do the swap, you're going to find more peace and you'll gain clarity through this situation. This can even be conversations you have together. I feel both energies could be, if you're in communication and you come into communication, there's going to be a lot of conversations about what each of you went through, but more's going to be revealed. And it's going to be a way of a secondary healing for the both of you. But you're pre-warned to understand that this is a big assessment month. If you're needing to do certain things and they're highlighted in certain houses, try and get them done. I'll do check-ins for the TF soon. And we will do a larger love read. Any questions while I'm here and cleaning up? I'll try and get this computer working because it's driving me crazy. No questions. Are there any Geminis in the house? So, have these been areas that you've been dealing with those houses? Just joined. Ah. We're going to need to have a lot of energy. It feels very testy, but at the same time, it is going to balance out. And half of these things that are getting cycled out has felt, it's probably harder because we've been going through these energy shifts as well. I relate back to 2016. Probably when you think about it, it's longer, but the heavier so from 2016 moving forward. Some of these cycles are even related a lot further back. So these are tying them up because a lot of it is energies of us directly working together by 2020. And it's a vibrational 4-year. So it's very similar to the energy of the Aquarian moon, which we are moving into the age of Aquarius. So it's like, you know, how us versus others can actually interlink. But your tribe is you. You know, if you change, the tribe changes. But, you know, we were really guided through astrology this year to use our own cognitive ability to choose what is right and what isn't for ourselves. And there could be some injustices occurring during this year where we have to separate ourselves from tribe mentality and look at it as an individual to have compassion and understanding. That can even be at a healing level. Okay, so the next video I will be doing will be Cancer. I'll have a quick 2.5 break and I shall come back.